Photo of Sara drinking a cup of tea. Photo of Sara smiling. Seeing with Sara logo. Seeing with Sara is a virtual series hosted by Empowerment through Integration and developed as a co-creation between ETI and ETI's founder, Sara Minkara.
Hi everyone, my name is Sara Minkara and welcome to another episode with Seeing with Sara. Today we're actually going to have a really interesting episode. You guys are going to get to know me through the lens of my close friends and colleagues. I'm going to ask them different questions and they're going to answer, so I'm really excited and curious. I'm a little bit scared to see what their answers are going to be, but I think it's going to be fun, so let's see what ends up happening. Okay, so my lovely, lovely colleagues, I guess my first question is, what's the craziest thing you've experienced with me?
Craziest thing? I think everything has been crazy. I don't think there's been a not crazy thing that we've done. But craziest was probably paragliding and snowmobiling. Those are two very crazy things that we did together. Not very work related, but we did them on work trips.
People are gonna think we're not doing work on these work jobs.
We do a lot of work, but also when we were
on the weekend. Fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide how to phrase our basically being smuggled into COSP last year. I felt like it was like being smuggled in. We weren't. But Sara just kept saying, "Oh, it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine."
I do have this one moment that is just not going away in my head, which was one day Sara was standing at my desk and her and I were chatting away, and we were both, in our conversation, and I think Sara had absent-mindedly picked up what she assumed was a pen on my desk, which, fair. People keep pens on their desk. That's super fair. Except she was slowly uncapping my X-Acto knife and was fractions of a second away from stabbing herself until I kind of tackled her to the ground.
Oh man.
When I traveled with Sara first time to check on our programs, also Sara told me, don't eat any vegetables, fruits and all, and I stayed 5 weeks without eating one piece of vegetable or one piece of fruit, and it was the most intense experience of my life. And I thought I was not going to survive that, but I can only imagine what is it that has not been an adrenaline rush in this past year. But this was definitely a good one. And another one is the one that I think Sara treasures the most as a memory between us, when she pranked me the first time, when I first started with ETI. But then again, I don't tell this so well, so I would rather that Sara tells the story herself.
So the prank, guys, it's one of my favorite moments ever. So I came across this video of this woman that was taking care of goats with disabilities. And it was such a lovely video. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to prank Nana. So I was like, Anna, look it. Our next 4-year plan in Lebanon is that we are going to scale and expand, and we're going to expand to empower goats with disabilities. Look at this video. And we got a donor that's willing to fully fund us for this specific, expansion. So we're set for the next 4 years. Let's go. And then Anna was like,
what?
What are we empowering him to do? Empowering them to be slaughtered? I don't understand. And I was like, we need to design programs and more research and evaluation metrics and all that. So for a while, not a while, I mean 10 minutes, I was really serious, and then I couldn't. And then by the end, I started laughing.
But has anyone here been pranked by Sara, or is it just me? Because Sara has done this consistently afterwards, but then of course I understood now how to proceed, but the first time I was like, what is she talking about?
No, I don't think anything quite like that. I think that is reserved special for you, Anna.
Yeah, that was yeah. It was just,
It's amazing.
welcome to ETI.
I think also, what is another one? I'm trying to think. Oh, I mean, this is something we kind of both do. So I'll like, for both of us, we just sing all the time to each other. Like
Little
everything.
teapot though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a little teapot is a good one.
Constant
It's a
teapot.
small world after all.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good one.
Traveling in the airport, we're just walking around and she's singing and then I sing back. So yeah, I definitely feed into it at a certain point.
And you wonder why I thought this was called Singing with Sarah?
Fair. That's fair.
Very sure.
And Sarah's own sound effects, because sometimes Sarah does the best noises ever when she does something like shoo choo.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like this.
In black.
Actually, now my family has started doing those sound effects. I think
Yeah, I think they're good ones. They fit a lot of situations.
they do. What's my favorite thing to eat?
Chicken! Is that even a question?
I eat exactly.
We still have multiple responses? It's just the one.
Should we ask this question? Like, when am I at my worst, I guess? Is that what to ask?
When are you worst? I mean, I can
How do you
answer
tell
it.
when you are at your worst?
When she's decaffeinated.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that's everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I would say like when somebody's like intentionally being non-inclusive. Like
Mm.
I think the times that I've seen the scariest version of Sarah, which is also like crazy like mama bear activist Sarah, which is maybe also my favorite Sarah. So it's this fucking dichotomy.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, that is unacceptable. That's
Yeah.
my answer.
Yeah. Boss lady Sarah comes out and she's like, no, we won't stand for this.
What's something surprising about me that you guys wouldn't have expected?
Oh, I have one. When Sara is in the zone, she puts her headphones, and that's when she's in thinking mode, processing mode, and it's better not to interrupt until it organically stops, because then Sara comes back in full force.
That's so true. That's a really good one. And then she'll take the earphone out and be like, and now I have 5 ideas and like 10 things we have to do.
Yeah.
Like, all that from like 5
And she's
minutes.
like, okay, I got it. She's like, okay, I got it. And then she'll be like, she's like, somebody needs to write this down because she's gonna go off. Because she's like, you give her like those 5 minutes, or not even 5 minutes. It's like the like time of like reflection, and then she comes out and you're like, whoa, what happened? Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's true. It's hard to keep up with you.
I'm always amazed at how much math you can do in your head. Like I'll be sitting in front
That's
of you
amazing.
with an Excel spreadsheet and a formula, and she will have done the math problem in her head before.
Faster than Excel.
Yes, faster than Excel. It's very upsetting and very mysterious all at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then also similar to that is how fast with screen reader software and how you have your speed turned up so fast. So you read things so fast. So I'm like, I wrote this, it took an hour, and then 2 minutes later, so I was like, oh, yeah, I read it, I'm done.
Crazy. Yeah,
So
that is
efficient.
insane.
If you had to pick any like popular like pop song that would be the theme song of Sarah's life, what would it be? Why?
It's a small world.
Yeah,
Now,
that's it.
that woman knows everyone and constantly sings it. She meets like the high level of the song and also like the really deep. Like she truly, this world is very small. This woman knows everyone. Everyone's connected. You know, like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Sarah's
Yeah.
like 2 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
It's true. Yeah.
No, when we came back from Lebanon and she was like texting Monica Lewinsky and me and Nikki were like,
What?
what?
What? Who
It's
didn't know
casual.
that?
It's so casual.
How? What magic are you working?
It is a small world, Casey. It's a small world. Actually, it's actually really crazy how small the world is. But yeah, I like that.
German Cara.
I'm so grateful and blessed for, and I know we'll talk about this later time, but just, I mean, I want to say this as many times as I can, but like, guys, this journey with ETI has been so beautiful, and you've made it special. And I know I will always be part of ETI, but I know this next chapter with ETI is going to be just it's just going to be beautiful, amazing, and it's going to be because of you guys, and you guys are also letting me pursue more and more dreams, which I am so grateful for. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to take this step either. So I love you all, and you guys are all sisters. And as Maggie said, I'm loyal to my sisters and my friends. So yeah. Anyways, thank you.
Oh, we love
Love
you too.
you.
We love you.
More.
Stay tuned for part 2. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow ETI on social media. Instagram, eti.vision. LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, ETI Vision. Follow Sara Mankara. LinkedIn, Sara Mankara. Instagram, Sara.s.mankara. Facebook, Sara.mankara.1. Twitter, Mankara Sara. Sing with Sara logo. Credits. Production, ETI, Empowerment Through Integration. Host, Sara Mankara. Executive Producer, Ana Barbosa. Carol Cochino. Assistant Producer, Nicolette Capiello. Closed Captioning, Pedro Gaetano. Post-Production, Bacoli Media. Panel, ETI colleagues, Ana Barbosa, Maggie Astin, Casey King, Nicolette Capiello, Selma Sama.